Today on Chesapeake Shores, we talk about muffins, grapevines, and olive branches with special guest Michael Berns. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to Afterbuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, Chessies. Welcome back to Afterbuzz TV. Here, we are doing Chesapeake Shores After Show, Season 3, Episode 3. The Rock is going to roll. I'm your host, Marissa Serafini. We have a full panel today. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hey, guys. I'm Carlina Will.
And we have...
Hello, guys. I am Tay Alexandria.
And, of course, you may recognize him. He's the executive producer, showrunner of Chesapeake Shores, Michael Berns. Welcome back, Michael.
Yay!
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes, say hello to all the Chessies.
Hello out there.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming back.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's fun.
Yes, congratulations on Season 3.
I know, exciting.
Very exciting. I mean, we're going to talk all about this. So, real quick thoughts. Let's start with you, Carlina.
Okay, you guys, this was like one of my favorite episodes because you know why? You guys already know why. I love David, and he's back.
Finally.
With Jess, you know, and, you know, there's some family drama, and I just cannot wait to get into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Tay, what are your thoughts?
Like Carlina, I am team Jess and David. I was so ready for that to happen. Way too long. But anyway, I was going to say that there are a lot of olive branches extended this episode with Nell and Robin and Jess and Bree. And as Abby and Trace's relationship gets stronger, it seems like Trace is trying to take a bigger leap. But with the stepfather role, he's getting we don't know what to do with his stepfather role yet. Because the kids are like, whoa, you're not my dad. So we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Yeah. But they're not even married yet, so he's not really stepfather role yet.
Not yet.
By legal terms.
That's always like a...
Which is
That's true.
stepfather.
Yeah,
Right.
to
Yeah.
the stepfather.
Right.
Yeah.
you can say. So Michael's seeing Season 3 now. What has the reaction been like so far since Season 3 has started to now?
Oh, it's been great. People really are enjoying the season. And I think it's going to be our best season yet. I really think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited.
I believe it.
There's so much family drama already. And
Well, there's a lot more, I think, more drama this year, more comedy, and nicer, you know, sort of moments. We get to go out to Maine, which is nice.
yeah.
We see that.
And we get to sort of expand our world, so we get to meet people's families, and for good and bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Maine, so let's get into it. Jess and Bree actually go to Maine, to David Peck's family. Your thoughts? They had the most judgmental look when they came out and to greet them.
I know.
Was
those
that me?
Boston Pecks. No, definitely. I
Okay.
sensed that.
Good. I like they were reading.
More so
Jess
the
and Bree.
mom, though.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Just a little
right?
bit.
Well, you know, you got to give the mom the benefit of the doubt because every guy's mom is reading every girl that comes in. You know, they're always giving you the look. It's like
That's true.
the mom look. I perfected it.
Especially since the first thing that she saw was like them hugging each other and them kissing. They're just like, whoa, she's whoa.
Yeah.
You're
that-
all over my son. What
You
are
know,
you doing?
They haven't seen each other for a while. I do think, you know, when you're meeting a guy's family for the first time, you shouldn't probably run up to him like that.
Right.
Wrap your legs
Knowing
around
they
him.
are the Pecks, you know.
That was such a cute moment, though. I can't.
It was
I
very
can't be mad
cute,
at it, though.
but she also knew who she was meeting.
That's true.
Yeah, but also, if you're the parent, what do you want the person your son was dating to love your son that much?
Yes,
That's
but
true.
the first time I meet
initial,
you,
though, the initial-
at least, you know, a little bit more courtesy.
Like, let me talk to you first as a
Yeah.
mother. Let me talk to you
Yeah.
first before you jump all over my son.
Jess didn't know they were going to come out. Jess, all she saw was David.
That's true. I mean, she
Yeah.
did go run.
Yeah.
It was still, I don't want to say immature-ish, but like
Yeah.
still childlike in a way.
It was very childlike.
It was.
Yeah.
But it was cute.
Would I do it? Yes, if I were Jess.
You
but
would
I mean,
do it,
just
Tay.
morally.
You would do
I
it.
know I would.
Because
I'm
it's
saying
David,
I knew I would.
It's because it's David.
I haven't seen my man in X amount of days, hours, whatever. Yes, I'm jumping.
Yeah, it's true. So in
Okay.
real time, it's been like 8 months since we've last seen the David character. But for the show, how many days has it actually been? A few weeks now, right?
Since last season
Since the time Jess last saw David.
It's been
David.
about 5-6 months. It's been
okay, so it has been a few
time. Yeah.
months.
Reason to jump. That's all I'm saying.
Reason to go
Not
running
in front of
and
the
jumping.
parents.
I get it.
Front door.
I get it.
No, but like if it's after 4 months, you jump. Before 4 months, it's totally wrong.
I agree.
It's rules.
Take note, everybody.
Why do I want him to have like a dating segment?
I'd still be for it. I'd
Talking
be
to the
for
wrong
it.
guy. My daughter's basically, when I give him dating advice, I go, "Are you kidding me, Dad?"
These are the rules. But hey, David's quite the romantic because that birthday cake. I love your 16 candles.
My favorite
The
scene.
best. We actually have a picture for the 16 candles reference. That was perfect.
No,
Whose idea was that?
It was mine.
Thank you so much for that.
Because I love that scene. I watched that scene on YouTube just to watch the scene, and I'm like, Jake, Samantha,
The lighting was perfect. She
No.
looked gorgeous.
Our Brian Johnson, our cinematographer, just killed it. And Shanna Mayer, who's the costume designer, when everyone read the scene, everyone goes, "Oh my gosh, you're doing 16 candles!" Because we didn't put 16 candles in the script because we didn't want to sort of like call attention to it. But of course, everybody at Hallmark immediately when reading it said, "You're doing 16 candles." Yeah. And I'm like, "And?" He goes, "Oh yeah, go ahead." And we're like, "Yay!" But yeah, no, I saw the dailies for this, and I was just telling Stephanie that the dailies came back, and I was looking at that scene, and all I could think was, "Oh, wait a minute, I got to put the music on." And we were watching the actual scene to the original, Thompson Twins, and we were thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is it. We actually did the scene."
Did you guys
And
catch
you
it?
did,
The 16
yeah.
Candles reference?
Of course.
When you watched it?
Yeah. When I
Okay.
took the picture, I was like, "This is perfect."
Yeah.
I tried counting the candles on the cake. I was like, it'd be really funny if there was actually 16.
Was
so,
there?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I don't
5,
know.
6. I'm just kidding.
I was like, I was like, that'd be like so tongue in cheek and the self awareness that it's 16. I loved it. So, what other 80s movies are you going to reference in the future?
Well, actually, no. On last night, I was joking with Jesse that we were going to have him wearing a trench coat, holding up a radio.
Yes, say
And
anything.
doing Peter Gabriel.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't
love Say Anything.
But no, I figured that he would just say anything to Abby, and I think that'd be lovely. But no, I think that might be we have other references to other things this year.
Okay.
I love pop culture references.
But
Love.
nothing so overt as this.
As that one.
Yeah.
Okay. But okay, so keep an eye out for more of the references. I thought it was perfect because I wasn't expecting it, and then it just made their reunion all the more cute.
Well, we think
So I
the only
enjoyed it.
person in the world who would do this would be Justin David. I mean, it's just because
That's
it's
true.
so crazy that if anyone else suggested on the show, they would go, "Are you serious?" But if David and Jess said, "I'm baking you a cake, it's a birthday cake, and wear pink," and Jess would go, "Absolutely." And
And you had the exact same lines too, like "Make a wish."
Well-
It already came true.
Well, here's the best part: if you notice at the end of the scene, it's reversed.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I have my daughter to thank for that. Jordan looked at the scene early, my oldest daughter, and she goes, "It would be really cute," because I wrote it with, "Let's do it again. Like, make a wish." She goes, "It already came true." And she goes, "Wouldn't it be really nice if it was exactly opposite?" And I looked at her and said, "Well, there you go. Perfect idea. Done." So, yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, no, she's a smart
smart.
child.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of her.
I like that. So thank you, Jordan. All right. So what are your thoughts when we now see the Peck family, and we see David in his working environment using words like conglomerate and all these business terms that we think we know, but we really don't. But what's it like to see this side of David, and are you worried for David and Jess's future?
I was gonna say that I actually like seeing David's career, what he actually does. However, I don't think Jess can handle that. I don't think that might actually be a problem.
Jess
Did you
is
see her
smart.
face?
Jess
Did you
is
see her
smart.
face?
She can handle it.
She was crying to Bree. You remember that?
She was crying.
She was crying to Bree.
She was crying, but she ultimately can handle it.
Ultimately, yes.
Yes.
I'm hoping she will.
She needed
however,
that pep talk from her
that's
sister.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jess is strong. We got to give her credit. She's running.
I believe she's
running her
strong.
own business. You know.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That family dinner, that was painfully awkward. Those are really the only two words I can think about, painfully awkward. Especially, I don't think it was, I don't want to say appropriate, but it didn't feel appropriate to say, "This, David, you are the new CEO," in front of Jess and the family. It just didn't seem like an opportune moment to do that in front of girlfriend.
But do you think he did it on purpose?
Absolutely.
I think so.
That's, yeah. The mom worries me.
Yeah, but that also like makes me question the Peck family, that they're the kind of people who would think that's okay to have a business-like conversation in front of family in such a way.
Well, they said that's not even the reason why, like, hey, we're just here, we're not here to meet the family. What's that about?
Tossing it to you.
Actually.
I mean, it begs a lot of questions of why they would. I just question like the kind of people who would have that type of conversation.
Or did they have the conversation purposely and then at the end serve quiche to make a point?
That's what I got from it. That's what I got from it.
Michael, throwing it down. I got it. I see it. Okay, yeah, that answers also different questions too. Shoot. Darn it! But I'm still. I know.
I'm thinking now. I'm confused.
It's very confusing because I'm just worried for Jess.
This is well executed and thought out by the parents.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It was so conniving.
Very
Like
conniving.
my favorite villain so far. Sorry, Danielle, you're gone. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Because I went on Danielle last
Mrs.
time.
Peck is so classy with her like skills. You know, she's like,
You call that classy?
It's like regal-like. Like,
yeah, it's very like
yeah.
it's like, oh, come up the stairs. Let's go see what David's
she
up
knew
to.
what she was
She
doing.
knows
She
what
she
she's
knew what she-
doing. She's you got to respect the art.
The art of throwing shade.
Yes, she
Right.
threw lots of shit.
She mastered that.
Yes.
Oh,
Hate the person but love how they do it.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was very manipulative. Again, I just question the Peck family. If that's the kind of people Jess wants to get involved with, I don't know. So it just makes me. I'm just naturally worried for Jess. It's like you got to know the actual family if you really want to, quote unquote, not that we're there, get married to David in the future. This is also part of the package.
Yeah.
Would you guys be able to handle that?
Yes.
Because I don't care.
I
it's
I just
David?
love David.
Yes,
And-
first of all, David and I would cook together every day. It would be fantastic. But also, I would pull her aside and be like, I know what you're doing. And I respect your shade, but I'm here to stay. So,
True.
you know, I would pull her
like that.
aside and let her know, like, I
like
love your
that.
son. I know what you're doing. I'm not going to let her think, like, I don't know what's happening.
That's true.
And I think she would respect that. She'd be like, okay. And she'd probably back off. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Keyword.
Hopefully.
The situation is different for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it really depends on how much you love the man
Yes.
compared to how much you love the rest of the family. So I think it'd be different for everybody. But going through all of this, it helps with the Bree and Jess relationship because they were kind of rocky there for a little bit. What do you think of this reconciliation?
I feel like the O'Brien sisters in that moment specifically, that was like two Bambis. They were like they got left on their own to like try to resolve on their own. There was because like, I look at them and like they're so awkward together, but it's cute. Like I love them as sisters, so I love the fact that they finally just like got back together and it was like I missed you too. Aw, I need you guys type of thing.
I wish we had a screenshot of like Jess's face when Bree told her that she was Casey. She was like,
Yeah.
she was
Not
like,
a
so,
case.
like I think for once Jess realized it's not all about her. So that was like a good reconciliation for her character, and then for her to know like, hey, my sister's maybe not as strong as I thought she was growing up. Like that was her. She would cry, you know, waiting for mom to come home. So I really respected that like bonding in that scene, and it helped them grow closer together because she didn't realize her sister hurt, if not as much or more than she did, you know, when their mom left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael, what are your thoughts of these two sisters? I mean, because they're so close,
Right.
but what's it like to actually see Lacey and Amelia, like, really showcase this relationship?
Oh, the two of them together. I mean, our whole cast is great, but there's just something in real life. They're really close, and they're like sisters in real life too. And I think that it's wonderful to see because it really is sisters bonding when things get tough, you know. And I have 3 daughters, so it's, you know, they can fight all they want, but when there's an outside problem, it's when they're the closest. And then I see that when Jess and Bree are together, when Lacey and Amelia are acting together, it's just really wonderful. And I mean, as a writer, you go, oh my gosh, like I intended the scene to be a certain way, and then you go, well, you just elevated it 30% better than I even thought you could have possibly done it. So.
It's beautiful.
It's sweet, and it's tough to see them fight, and it's only the first 3 episodes of the season. We're like, they can't be fighting the entire season. We don't want to see that. So I'm glad that they extended their olive branch or olive oil.
That's what I was going to say. Shout out to Debbie Bailey. Hey, girl, she said, love the olive oil as the olive branch reference. She loved that.
That's smart.
I forgot about that. Yes, that was cute.
Every so often, something happens in a writer's room, and the joke itself becomes funny to you. And we were like, I was with Kirsten at the time, and we were just sort of laughing. We were looking at one another, just sort of laughing, going, can we get that through? Like, yeah, we should try.
And it definitely added the touch, like I couldn't find a branch. But there were a lot of olive branches extended metaphorically in this episode, hence olive branch. So thank you, Debbie, in the comments. And we have a lot of YouTube people chiming in. Thank you, all you fans always tuning in. You know what else you can do on YouTube?
Yes, I will tell you. Hey, AfterBuzzers! Our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know how we did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. But for now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes, we definitely talk TV here. We're definitely talking about this show. So, and we saw David's sister, Alexandra. I liked her. She was interesting. I mean, she was kind of like mysterious at first. And I was just wondering if she was going to be, because I've seen her in other Hallmark productions, and she usually plays like the villain, or she has played a villain. And I was like, okay, what are you up to, girl? But I feel bad for her, because she obviously has put in the work and earned the position of CEO, but they give it to David. She's not happy.
Not happy at all.
Nope.
What do you
I
think
would be
this'll
too in
do?
that moment. I feel like you're in the middle of a family. She's like, oh yeah, I'm about to get it. And then all of a sudden, oh no, it's going to someone else. What?
Right.
Why do you think it went to David instead of her?
Because he says words like conglomerate.
Linear. Didn't you say linear too?
Yes,
linear.
yeah.
Linear.
An exponential.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I just worried that they went to David not to make this a gender biased issue, but
You think it
because
was gender
I hope that's
biased?
not a real
I hope
thing.
not.
I
Yeah.
Michael.
I did not want to throw it out there.
I didn't get that.
I think it's
It
interesting
wasn't
how we went to
intended.
the main.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
He just looks more I haven't seen Alexandra in the role, so I can't really, I guess it's only one-sided, but just seeing David, on that call, it looked very natural to him, like how to do business. So I could see why his parents, like if she doesn't have that natural charisma and, flow to do the job, I can see why they maybe choose him.
And I think that the Pecks are used to getting what the Pecks want. And the Pecks always wanted him to run the business, and they decided, doesn't matter. It didn't matter how qualified the sister is. They were going to give it to David, and they were going to force David back in if they had, didn't matter what.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
but I think you'll see her again.
I want to see more of her.
Yeah, I
Yes.
do.
Yes, I do. I need to know her story. She is mysterious, like you were saying.
She kind of goes into my predictions, so I don't want to say exactly what I think is actually going to happen.
I know. I was like just wondering, like, is she helpful or manipulative? I can't tell.
I want to hear the predictions first.
You want to hear the predictions?
We're saving that.
Saving it. We're good to that. We'll get to that.
We'll get to predictions. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But let's move it on to, you can say another olive branch or some issue that's now finally cleared up. Nell and her muffins.
Gran.
Trying to get this wishing fountain. No, it took her a while to convince him to finally come around.
She got it, though.
I like this, though.
Good.
I mean, what do you think of the muffins and just her whole negotiation, her tactics of trying to get him to rethink everything?
As a cook, whenever you want to make a deal, you bring food. number one entry is food. So the fact that she brought muffins, she knew she was already open. You know, the way to a man's heart is through his what? His stomach.
Yeah.
So she knew. And then, you know, just talking about the history and like what it meant to the community. What's the number one thing that a mayor is always looking out for? His community. So, you know what? Why don't Nell run for mayor one day?
That'd be great.
I like that.
Right?
I like
Nell,
that.
and bring your
Michael?
muffins. You're going to win.
I love how
It's too late to change the season.
Season 4.
season 4, take notes.
Yeah.
I like how she like.
We'll go back to Camden and start shooting.
Let's go. Maybe now.
Reshoots. Okay, what,
I like
what are
how
your
she
thoughts?
like swatted the muffin out of his hand at the end.
Hysterical.
That was boss. I like that. That was so funny.
That was great. But I did love how she did jot the lines of, you know, Mick and Thomas are very involved in this community. They helped build it, and I would not want to take this to the entire town that helped, you know, was involved in building it. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right, Nell.
She pulled out
Don't take
all
it to her,
the stuff.
the sons who actually physically built the place either.
Yeah, it's the
'Cause he's
tough
gonna
side of
lose.
Nell.
Yeah. And you're not expecting it either because she's so, like, wise and calm and just there, always passing out wisdom. And then you're like, oh, she has a tough side to her. I like it.
Yeah, but the family matriarch is a family matriarch for a reason.
Yes.
It's
true.
all nice, and then when she wants to be tough, I think she could pull Mick into line really quick.
She can.
She's been keeping
like that.
secrets too. So, you know, I knew that eventually that side of Nell was coming out.
Yeah. I feel like Nell softened up just a little bit in this episode because she also came around to Robin.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know much about this Robin character,
Yes.
but Nell finally approves. No, so I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
We'll be to learn more about Robin.
I think that Robin has always been is look, it's Tara Rothery. She's wonderful, and in person she's great. As an actress, she's wonderful. It's that you as a parent, and you always kind of want the best for your kid, and knowing that you have your son is with a woman who you know is never going to make him as happy as he deserves to be happy, and so you'll never be able to give that woman enough. You're not going to extend your love to that person. You just can't. And I think after 30 years of seeing the difficulty they've had with the relationship, she just couldn't go that far and to reach out. She had enough. And same with Mick a little bit too, looking out for his brother. And we sort of wanted that character sort of to run opposite of how Mick is dealing with Connor. That, you know, you can sort of be over involved and get involved in a different way with your son than you can with your brother, and you can with yours, you know. So, but I think they'll come around, and they came around in this episode. There's a little bit of an olive branch, and there was a little hint of what might come next episode.
Yeah. Having the wedding with family, quote unquote, in Chesapeake Shores. I feel like we're going to see that might be the only wedding we see in this season.
Don't say that.
I agree with you, actually.
No, I don't want the wedding you want. I want the Trace and Abby wedding.
You don't want, I think we all want it, but don't you want it to like extend more, like let them go through more hurdles to make it more fun and interesting?
Do you have to
You want it just like, you know,
pull out this
Well,
relationship?
not married. I want at least an engagement.
I get.
That would be good. Just to like lock it down.
We gotta extend this relationship. If you want season 4, you gotta like play
I'm the
it out.
only one by myself. Does anybody agree with me in the chat?
Let us know.
I'm just trying to keep this straight as say as possible.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say a word.
Okay, I do have to ask this. Ivan Soto, I got you. You've asked this like 5 times. I'm so sorry. Question for you.
Okay.
He wants to know if, I know we're going back to Jess for a sec, but like, why are we getting rid of Jess's ADHD? Did we know she had an ADHD in the beginning?
That's more in the books, actually.
Okay.
It's not really talked about in the show. Cheryl Woods in the books talks about it in detail, but we really haven't really talked about it on the show. And,
I was
and never,
wondering, 'cause-
Okay.
Yeah.
but I kind of see what he's coming from, though. Like, she kind of has that.
Well, I think
a little bit.
for us, what's wonderful about Jess is that she has an interesting way of moving. Everybody else sort of moves sequentially through life, A, B, C, D, E. And Jess is sort of the A, C. I'm going to dabble a little bit in L, and then go back to B. And then what's great about David is that David sort of goes, oh, I know totally where you're going with this, and can sort of understand it. it's it's fun to write, just because you don't have to write straight with Jess. You can kind of go in all sorts of crazy circles, and you go that way. I'm not sure if that's something that is labeled on this show or not. So
Okay. Well, I think, for the quote unquote lack of ADHD in this show, that it makes up with her youth. And I think you can chalk it up to she's still young, she's still growing and learning and maturing. So I think she just has to try everything before she realizes what she's good at.
And for me, it's being the youngest kid in a family of very, very accomplished people. It's like, how do you compete with Abby? How do you compete with Bree? How do you compete with, everybody is so accomplished that if you're the youngest child, it's hard.
Yeah.
And you're sort of Jess is still trying to find herself and trying to find out what makes her special. The inn now makes her special, I think, and she's doing that really well. So she's growing up, but growing up a little more slowly than everybody else.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely see it, especially how she ran up to David, very childlike. But it's okay. It was cute. It was cute.
I wouldn't call it childlike because I'm 27 and I would do it. So. Okay.
All right.
I do it every day when I get home.
Everybody.
But I do think
And I just jump on my wife, and he goes, "What are you doing?" It's like,
The moment she should have jumped on him was during when he said, "But it already came true." At the candles.
but
That
then it
was a
would've
good
been
moment.
Sweet 16.
Just take notes.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, but,
It was still cute.
but you can only lean forward and kiss. And if you actually did
true.
jump forward, she'd set herself on fire.
That is
Oh,
very
yeah.
true. And they're on top of a table too, so just
Yeah, okay. You know what? Safety out. It's a great moment.
All right, moving on to Connor. Connor, he was so in denial that Danielle wasn't seeing someone else. But your thoughts of when you finally get this confrontation with Danielle, and he asked her, "Are you seeing someone else?" And she was hesitant, but at least she was honest, being like, I saw my ex-boyfriend. And then, what are your thoughts of how Connor handled this and decided to call it off?
I think Connor actually handled it pretty well, but I thought he was dying inside, actually.
Yes.
I know I got on Danielle hard last episode. However, I'm actually give her kudos for actually telling the truth. I was not expecting that at all. But
Yeah.
what do you guys think?
Okay.
Alina,
First
go
of
for
all,
Okay.
Danielle, you are gone. You are gone. It's like, okay.
To celebrate it.
Secondly, no, Connor handled it really well. I wasn't really happy about him going after Kevin. Like, that wasn't cool.
That makes
As a
me
brother,
sad.
like, your brother's looking out for you, family first. He needed to remember that. But I love the way he asked Danielle. He just asked her out, like, you seen somebody
I'm glad
else?
he did it.
I'm glad he did.
I'm really glad he did
And
it.
I did not think, because I think you guys, if you go back to last week's episode, I did not think Danielle was going to be honest. So thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, I was going after
I
her.
thought so.
I was like, she's not going to say it. She's going to lie. She's going to be like, that's my brother. So I'm really happy she did that. And I'm glad that Connor had that moment with his mom. To realize, like, you're okay. And for him to go back and literally have proper closure with Danielle, because that will be able to help him move forward with. I personally think Connor should be single for a little bit to really understand about himself and understand, who he is, what he wants to do, move forward, grow a little bit, grow up, because, he has a little bit of childlike immaturities
Still
as well.
young too. Yeah.
And then find a woman. That's kind of like what I want for Connor, but bye, Danielle.
She needs to get it together too. She doesn't know what she wants either. She's so wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Well,
She's gone.
in fairness, she's also young too. So I'll give them that. Like, you got to remember, they just came out of college or law school. So they're probably at least early 20s, mid 20s. What were you like in your relationships in the 20s? Were you
Very mature.
That's a rhetorical question, but it's just like,
Never mind. I'm not gonna say where I
anybody's
was.
love life like so certain in the mid 20s.
No, not
that's
certain,
the
no.
stage where you're
Yeah.
questioning it.
No,
You're trying to figure yourself out, get it together. You don't know who you are yet.
And they got together really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
ru-
They did.
And they got together in the worst possible time, right after the bar exam, and they got together out of stress, and things got happened. So Danielle's not so bad.
That's true. Carlene couldn't be happier. But I did love the moment where Connor was with Megan.
Yeah.
And what she
like
said, I think she said, just because you convince others of something doesn't mean you have to try so hard to convince yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not right with you and Danielle, trust me, don't pretend it is. Oh, that was a great mother parenting moment. Like, yeah, Megan. See you. Barbara Niven, you're awesome.
Yeah, she's stepping up this year.
So good. I love this moment, and also it seems like Megan is like being more tolerant of everybody else, or like everyone's more tolerant of her. More so, just her being there. They're more used to her being around.
Yeah, she's sliding into the sort of the O'Brien life and being part of it a little bit. And obviously, look, her relationship with everybody, including Mick, is getting a little more relaxed at this point.
Yeah, but also Robin and Megan, they had their little conversation. Like, it's hard to always please the O'Briens. You know, somewhere along those lines, it's like you're spending most of your life just trying to fit in. I was like, oh, that's sad. Is that their perspective from the outside of the O'Brien family, that they have to like earn their place within?
Oh, you're asking me? Wow.
For anybody who wants to answer.
Sure. Look, I think the O'Briens are a great family, but I think they're very set in their ways. And
That's a good
Mick is Mick, and I think Charles, their father, was very specific in terms of how he ran the family, and then Nell, even though she's lovely and can make great muffins, it can be, I think, very tough in her own way. So when you move into that kind of a family, you move into a big family, you sort of have to sort of find your role, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Connor, he had that argumentative apology moment with Kevin. I was like, oh, Connor, but you're the one who's going to be apologizing soon enough.
Yeah, I really thought this episode Connor was going to be like, I'm sorry, Kevin.
That's what you said last week.
I
You
did.
thought he was going to I told you he wasn't.
I was hoping, though.
I can't wait to hear the predictions next week.
Oh, we have
You're going to get those predictions, Michael. But I'm sad. I don't like the way, I mean, if I were Kevin, I think Kevin did the right thing. Absolutely did the right thing. I would have done the same thing. It's just, I don't like how Connor just like reacted to that at all. Still.
Yeah, I mean, he reacts so angry.
Aggressively.
Yeah, very aggressive, very, like, he needs some anger management lessons.
I'm going to need this not
really
to go
does.
another episode at all. Like, of them, I need Connor to actually, like, believe that Kevin was right.
I will say that I think Connor will apologize next episode.
I
feel like I'm like
Definitely.
the Connor expert. He listen, my little brother acts just like Connor. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, so Connor I think he was really upset about the possibility of Danielle seeing somebody else, and he took that out on Kevin.
Yeah.
I don't really think he was like, oh, you're a bad brother for telling me. I think he was in his mind, he's like, this cannot be true. My brother has to be lying. I pray that my brother's lying because he liked her so much.
Yeah.
That's where I got it from. I don't really think he was really just targeting Kevin and going after him.
I think we should just talk to your brother.
What would you do, Carl?
Get some inspiration for how to write Connor for future episodes.
You talk to your brother first. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Okay. I think eventually Connor and Kevin has to make up because Connor, he's going to come back with tails tucked between his legs. Like, I'm sorry, you're right.
I think it's because he was in denial, like we said. He didn't want to believe it.
He was. True denial.
Yeah.
Denial. Who's not in denial? Trace and Abby. We love
adorbs.
them. They are adorable.
Thank you for them.
Starting off the episode with the line dancing, hence the grapevine. Very cute, very country. I
With the
love
cowboy
it.
boots.
And
that,
I think Kirsten Hansen.
Aw, Kirsten, you're amazing.
She taught Jess how to line dance.
Awesome.
The crazy thing is that Jesse Metcalf is not a dancer, but he's an athlete, and it's amazing how fast. Apparently, he picked it up so quickly; it was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it helps. But yeah, it was great. I was watching and going, how did he learn how to do that? It would take me 2 years, and I would still, my legs would be flying all over the place, and figured it out.
I love when you're an athlete, you have the muscle memory, agility, it all just in coordination. It's all there. Trifecta.
And athletes take
do
dance
it.
classes.
Yeah.
You'll have to ask Jesse Metcalf. I don't know.
I took dance. There you go. I loved it. I thought it was cute. But your thoughts of when the girls told Trace that he wasn't their father.
Broke my
Oh,
heart.
that just stung. That stung.
That was tough.
That was tough.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier. Just like, I know he's not stepfather yet because I do want the wedding to happen, Carlina. However, I feel like that balance right there is always hard to like try to figure out. Like, all right, I don't want to be too much of a parental role, but I also don't want to be like the always goody two shoes one, just like, you know, always babying the kids, you know. So I think now we're starting to see him kind of take a more parental role, which I like. But I didn't expect the kids to do that though.
That was harsh.
Yeah.
You know?
It was hard seeing the kids say that, especially how nice Trace has been in giving to them and gracious to them. Like, he bought you food and brownies, and then you say, yeah, but it's not like you're
No,
your
those
father
expensive
anyways.
pink cowgirl boots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
right.
but do you think Carrie and Kaylin really said it meanly, or do they said it and sometimes you say things that as a kid that you don't necessarily understand the sort of the larger context? I mean, there might have been a subconscious reason why they said it, but I think when they were reporting it to Abby on the couch later, they were just saying, oh, we just said this and then this and then this. And I don't think they really understood, to me at least, I don't think they really understood exactly how hurtful that was.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
That's true.
I don't think they meant to say it maliciously, but the way it was said, but it's not like you're our dad. Yeah, I think just the way it delivered, it like really hurt up front.
Right.
But they're kids, and I'll give them a pass. It was
Yeah.
like they didn't mean for it to be mean.
But it's true though. It's going to be a hard situation. It's always going to be a situation. I mean, the kids are going to have, you know, Wes is their dad.
Yeah.
And as Trace gets closer to Abby, they have to deal with that and have to deal with this certain situation, and they have to deal with Wes's situation too. So it's all complicated.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
very complicated.
And Abby even picked it up too. Even when the kids, like we're saying it calmly on the couch. Like Abby knew right away, like, oh, let me talk
Yeah.
to Trace. Let me see how he feels right now.
Yes.
Right. But what are your thoughts of Trace reading them a bedtime story? Well, actually, talking about the Snipes story. It was so cute.
I really want a picture of these snipes, like what they look like.
I was thinking like birds.
I'm a visual learner. I need this too.
Birds.
Yeah.
Well, Snipes is what. The funny thing is that I think it's generational. But Snipes
Okay.
is what you used to do to campers, so they can go out in the woods and find nothing. And you want to just, they're like, let's go on a snipe hunt. And they're like, oh, really? It was, yeah, great idea. Let's go on a snipe hunt.
Okay.
And you send kids out into the woods silently and thinking that they're going to find a snipe. Meanwhile, the counselors all just sort of laugh themselves silly.
It's a wild goose chase. Hence
Yeah.
Kevin's story.
Hence
Kevin
Kevin's
didn't like the
story.
sniping hunt.
Yeah.
And it's something that I did when I was a camp counselor.
Okay.
Aw.
You sent out people for snipe hunts?
Oh, I did horrible things. I told ghost stories that scared campers to death and purposely, and
Okay.
yeah, because it's funny.
It is funny.
That is like a wild goose chase.
Because there's nothing more fun than seeing a poor 12-year-old going, I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to go to bed. And you're like, no, you shouldn't go to bed. It's dangerous.
The snipes would get you.
No, but no, it was fun watching it. And so, yeah, of course, Mick would take the snipes and totally torture Kevin.
Yeah. poor Kevin was like, not again.
Kevin must have fell for it
I was
every
like,
time.
he did not like that.
But it's funny. Last night when people were seeing the snipes, they were sending in messages saying, "No, if you're looking for snipes, you're not supposed to use musical instruments because it would scare the snipes away." I'm like, "You're right. Of course not."
Okay. Harmonica. When Kevin had that, I thought it was funny. I guess it is a generational thing because I didn't know
Yeah,
that
I didn't
was
know either.
Yeah, no, it's.
interesting. Very neat. I like that.
I think we should start again.
Yes, so pass that on to your children for everyone who's listening. I did enjoy the Kevin and Mick moments in this episode when they're trying to take over the B&B, cooking in the morning, and just a hot mess all over the place. They tried.
They
tried
just
so
seemed
hard.
like adorable teenage boys trying to figure it together. But I liked it though. That's what made it like funny. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, anything else about this episode before we get into just talking to you, Michael?
Oh my goodness. I feel like we covered everything. We all know that Kevin can't cook.
Yes. I love that. His quiche was even worse this episode.
But Michael can bake. He can bake, right?
Mick?
Mick, sorry.
Mick can bake. Yeah,
Mick
he's
can
like,
bake. Sorry.
I'm a contractor.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about Michael. I was like, Michael can bake?
Can you really?
Not
Did I
really.
just put something
Do
out
tell,
there?
Michael.
No.
All right. right. Well, let us know what you all think. Thank you for tuning in every week, listening on us on iTunes. Definitely rate, comment, subscribe there. Give us 5 stars. There's no other stars. Just give us 5 and leave a nice review, and we'll shout you out if you do. Let us know how much you love the show, how much you love the episode and our recaps, this panel, even Michael. So thank you, Michael, for being here. Let's talk about season 3. Congratulations! I mean, it's getting amazing reviews, amazing ratings, and even last week we had 2.3.
2.3. We were the 3rd highest rated show in all of cable television.
Yeah!
Congratulations!
That's
Well deserved,
amazing.
though.
So congratulations on that. And so, what are your thoughts of the show just taking off and really speaking to the family aspects?
I love it. I love the fact that when fans contact me on everything, it's just wonderful hearing stories and hearing people going, "Oh my gosh, the O'Briens are just like my family," and this is where I live, and this happened to me too, and it's wonderful. And I love it because the O'Briens are a lot. They're similar to my family since you write kind of what you know, and you realize we're all kind of doing the same sort of thing, have the same sort of problems.
Yeah,
So,
very relatable.
Yeah, no, it's been great, and the fans are amazing. They're really just really generous and lovely.
Yeah. So this is your 2nd season now involved with there. So how different is it now this 2nd time around for you? Is it easier? Are there more challenges this time now?
Easier in a lot of respects. I mean, I knew that the show seems easier to write just because you're sort of in the groove of who everybody is, and there was so much set up last season that we were able to sort of go in all sorts of new directions. I think we knew about Jess and David last season, and a lot of what's going on with the bigger arcs this season was planned at the end of last season, where after I got in the first year, although I loved the first season, it was all from scratch. I had no idea where anybody was going and who was going where. I knew Trace and Abby were together, but that was about it. Didn't know anything about David, so we had a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that if hopefully, knock on wood or glass, season 4, we have plans on that too. We'll see.
Yeah.
Which character would you say has grown the most so far on the show?
I think Connor probably has. I think because Connor. Well, Connor the first season was a goofball. I mean, Connor the first season was stealing Kevin's hat at graduation, and was just lost. And I think he's finding his way, and I think this season you'll find it even more. I think Jess has grown up a lot. Yes. And I think Bree is figuring out a lot. And I think this season, actually, between Trace and Abby, there's a lot of things that need to be worked out too. So.
There you go.
Can I backpedal on Trace and Abby? So everybody knows, all the fans know that I want at least an engagement ring this season for Trace and Abby. Is there any way, am I gonna get my dream this season, or what's happening there? I need things solidified. What's going on with Trace and Abby? What's their future?
I can't say that.
Tell us all.
No, that can't. You can't make me do that. No matter how nicely you ask, I won't tell you.
Season finale.
You guys, I tried.
You did. That was really good.
That was good, though.
I almost broke.
Almost. It's okay. We still have 10 minutes.
Oh no, 10 minutes? Then I might break.
Okay.
What's been your favorite moment of the season so far? There's so many, right?
The favorite moment of this season, the 16 Candles had some moment.
Oh,
Next episode, my favorite part of the season, there's a couple scenes in later episodes that I really, really love. There's a scene next week that I really love. And it only was because I read it to my daughters, and it made them cry.
Oh. Definitely family.
And it wasn't because I was scaring them with snipes. It was actually
they're really
No, I wasn't ooh, scary. No, but it was so it's my personal favorite scene, so it hasn't happened yet.
So,
Okay.
but we will know when it happened. when it happens.
Yeah, she'll go, oh, that must be the scene.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Think
I don't
it'll be
want to miss
evident.
it. Yeah. I was
Things
like,
to
it's
look
very
forward to.
prominent. Okay.
It'll be actually interesting if you guess the scene.
Okay. Things to look forward to.
She just moves
Next
on.
week.
All right. Is there any chance, because we know Hallmark does big in Christmas, is there any chance for a Chesapeake Shores Christmas movie for this family? I'm sure we would love to see the O'Briens during Christmas.
I don't know. That's out of my hands.
Okay.
Although I will tell you there is something this year this season that might be interesting for you.
Oh, okay.
I can't say more.
It's so mysterious.
It is very mysterious, this interview.
I'm just,
Just enough.
basically, the entire interview goes, I can't tell you, but it's something.
Yes, it's something. We have a lot of somethings to look forward to, you guys.
Yeah, a little somethings like Megan and Mick.
I was gonna say that. That
yeah.
was actually a prediction that I had because I'm trying to figure out like Megan's life in this whole season. Like I really think, just to the point that I think that she's there to actually like, and Robin actually like said that she's later on. Megan will be there to rekindle with Mick.
Ooh.
Question mark? Yes.
Will we see more of that?
Will we
this
see
season?
more? Oh come on.
Yes, no.
It will be something.
Well,
I need more.
I don't even know why I'm here. This is perfect. This is exactly what I was
I
about to
think it's gonna
say.
happen. I
Well,
think.
we know something is starting between those two.
Yes.
And the fact that
They
Robin
seem to
Or
get
at
getting
least
along.
rekindling. Yes. Getting
Yes.
along
That's-
better than what they used to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
Do you guys remember that, like when he brought her flowers to the house?
Yeah.
When she moved
Yeah.
in?
First episode of season 2. I
But
do.
He did.
It's like first episode.
I do.
But then he said, why are you really here? Which kind of killed the whole flower moment.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he has to have an ulterior motive to see her sad.
Yeah. No,
maybe not.
it was happy and sad.
Okay.
But no, they seem to be getting along, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes.
They do. All right, so we don't know if there's a season 4 yet. We'll have to wait for that. But what can we, as audience, as fan members, and just as the network in general, what can we do to help get season 4?
Oh my goodness. I stay involved in social media, write, tweet, ask for it on social media would be great. I'm not sure else how to do it. I think that would be pretty much it. I'm looking off screen right now. So, look, I think that just, letting Hallmark know how much you like the show and watch the show. Everybody watches, if more people watch the show, the better off we are. And it's more fun on Sunday nights to tweet anyway. So
It is. It's fun live tweeting us. Are you
Oh,
Carlina
yes.
tweeting live as
Andrew,
well?
who plays Connor, I was definitely tweeting.
That was funny.
Yes.
yeah.
She's like, that was funny.
That
You
was
guys
really
have to
funny.
go check it out.
Yeah.
No, but it's great.
The cast does get involved.
It's great that almost the entire cast and the entire cast over the course of the year, but almost the entire cast is on Sunday nights, and it's really fun that our cast really loves the show and loves its fans so much that they're all tweeting with fans, and it's fun. I mean, I have a tendency to sort of stop while I'm tweeting to sort of read some of the text and go, oh my gosh, that's funny.
I agree. I mean, so thank you for season 3 and also coming back here.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Oh my gosh. Well,
Thank you.
thank you from all of us, the whole cast and crew. We
Yes,
really,
of course.
it's wonderful.
Yes, we love the show. So before we wrap out, we have one more, well, actually 2 more fun, quick, special segments. We have our See You at the Shore segment, and Carlina is bringing us to a certain shore this week. Carlina, take it away.
Yes, we are traveling all the way up north to Bar Harbor, Maine. And if some of you guys are like, wait, why are we doing Maine? Because David's family's from Maine.
Checkmate.
Boom.
Boom.
So what's in Maine?
So what's in Maine? So the population is about 5,000 people. Super small. The town is 63 square miles, and about 42 of that is land, 21 is water. So it's a lot of water. The median age is 45.
Okay.
Compared to like last week,
Younger
it was
than
like
last
so old. And then most of the population is married. What I really found cool about Bar Harbor is that it was used for naval practices during World War II.
Oh, neat.
Right?
Neat.
I'm like a huge history buff. I love that. And then speaking of history, so it was called the Range of Mountains because you can see mountains at the distance. So that's what the Native Americans would call it. And then they were known for clam gathering place and the clam bake place. So, lots of seafood. And then we're going to jump into seafood because you guys, since I'm a foodie, I found you guys a seafood place. It's called Raised Lobster. And he serves lobsters, clams, and mussels.
Yes, please.
And look, I'm going to help you out for the dinner. I found you a 2-dinner special for 2 when you're on a date. You can get the 2-pound one of lobster, 1 pound of mussels, 2 ears of corn, all cooked in seawater with butter and lemon for $34.99.
All right.
So I am booking a flight to Maine real quick.
I think all of us are.
And that's like real lobster.
And listen, you don't have to end up like Jess with your back hurting from horseback riding if you don't know how to ride a horse. I got you. The downtown carriage tours, you guys. You can take a romantic horse-drawn carriage through Bar Harbor's downtown area. So you don't have to end up like Jess with back pain.
All right.
There you go.
And lobsters pull the carriage.
Yes. You know what?
Yeah.
What if you got Raised Lobsters while you're doing your carriage downtown
Bam.
On a horse.
date night right there?
That sounds amazing. So that is Bar Harbor
Bar Harbor.
in Maine.
Yep.
Thank you, Carlina. Very informative, very fun. Get some lobster while you're at it. All right, so our last special segment, here we go, is news. Not news. Sorry. I was getting into it. I am skipping that one. We're going to predictions.
Yes.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, so I felt like we threw out a lot of ours, but I still don't think the only wedding we're going to see is going to be the renewal of Thomas and Robin, and I don't think we're going to get an engagement at all this season.
Says a lot of our viewers, Carolina, but it's okay. So
okay.
there is one person on
One
your side.
person on my side, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
We need a season
what are
4.
your predictions?
I think that, don't get me wrong, guys, I am Team Jess all the way. But I think now that David is going to be CEO of Peck Enterprises, I think it's going to put a damper on their relationship. Hold on. I think because I see your face. I see your face. Jess is very, very strong. I know she is. She's like a boss to me. However, I just think, look how she cried to Bree. I think like it's really going to somehow, some way put a damper on the relationship. Maybe. And Mick and Megan will rekindle.
Okay.
That's another prediction.
Okay, Carlina, your thoughts?
Okay. I do believe Jess is strong, but I feel like, yes, this will put at least a stumble in their relationship. Will they eventually be back together? Absolutely. But I think it will split them just temporarily. But Jess is strong, and she will find a way to make it work. But yeah, I agree that David's going to take over for his company, for his family's business, and we'll obviously get to see more of his sister. I think there might be a little battle for the CEO position. She's not going to go down without
She's
a fight.
not.
Yeah, you know
She's
what?
a Peck.
Honestly, female power. I want her anyway. But, I mean, hey.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. I don't think they're actually going to fight over it. I think David's actually going to give the position to Alexandria. Because you saw when they brought out the quiche, you can tell he was like so happy yet so sad that he's like, oh, that's my true love is cooking, not being a CEO. So, and he was encouraging of his sister being like, have fun running this company. So
No.
you can tell he doesn't want to
The
do
fight's
it.
not between Alexandra and David. It's between Alexandra and David versus the parents.
Oh, true.
That's
yeah, like
the
actually,
fight
yeah.
I'm talking about,
Yeah.
you guys, and it's going to be fantastic.
Okay.
So also, Abby's going to go on tour with Trace. And I think this whole paparazzi thing, remember we had like the paparazzi and
Yeah.
everybody? That's
Those
going to take a
pictures.
toll on their relationship.
Which is why I said last episode that it's not healthy
He's going to
for her to go.
Go on the tour?
Nope, I don't think it's healthy.
No, it's absolutely healthy. She needs to know what she's walking into.
Not the whole. Okay,
She
fine.
does.
Day one,
She
not the
does.
whole
No,
time
not really.
though.
Wait till those pictures
Okay.
are leaked. We're really going to see if she
Oh
knows.
goodness.
Well, she's walking. No, I'm serious, you guys. She does not know. She's grown up in Chesapeake Shores. She's in her
I get
bubble.
it. But
Well,
not
She was
one-
in New York for a while. So
Okay.
I think girl.
Okay.
I mean, she worked on Wall Street. I think girl has some tough skin. Michael, what would you like to see for these characters for the future? That might be a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
Yeah. Where we like
I can
the show
say,
to
I
go?
just remember we do have a 1980s pop culture reference next episode.
Oh.
Okay.
Though there is one line that you will recognize from a 1980s movie.
Yes. If it's John Hughes, I'll definitely know it.
No, but you'll definitely know it anyway.
Okay, great. Excited.
I think the future is going to be very interesting this year for everybody. I think there's a lot of big issues that come into play. Okay. How's that for not saying anything?
I was gonna say, are any of our predictions valid?
Mum's the word. Yeah. He can't say.
No, well, yes.
Okay.
Oh.
See, I got something.
He said it himself. All right. Well, thank you, Michael, so much for coming back.
Thank you so much.
Have you come back every time?
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
They want you back for
It's
the season finale, actually.
Ooh.
They want you back for the season finale, so
Really?
please come back again. Yes.
Absolutely.
They want you back.
Make it work.
Yes.
Yeah. You call it. We're asking right now. Here we go. All right. Well, we'd love to have you come back, and I know you were just in Vancouver doing Picture Lock for. So how far are the episodes locked? You're on episode 5, 6?
Yeah, no, we're locked through episode 9.
Okay.
We're finishing editing episode 10. I'm going back to Vancouver this week to do the sound on 7 and 8 for the final mix, and then we're almost done.
There you go.
So we have to all the reshooting actually that we have to do now. That you mentioned.
Oh,
Right.
because of Nell being.
Yeah.
Come on, you admit that
Changing
would
the
be like a
script.
game changer.
Yeah, it's
All
going to
right.
be a little expensive, but we're going to bring everybody
gonna
back
say.
up.
I'll come back. I'll come up there and help.
Sure.
You know, why not?
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, again, thank you so much.
Thanks.
So, in the meantime, where can everyone keep following you on social media?
I'm really easy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Michael Berns TV, BERNS for everything.
There you go. Simple. All right, Tay.
Tay Alexandria TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
On everything else, at Cooking with Carlina on Twitter, at Cook with Carlina.
And you can follow me everywhere at Serafini TV. You can follow all of us here. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun social media platforms at AfterBuzz TV. Keep rating, keep commenting, keep subscribing, keep watching Chesapeake Shores, and we will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterbuzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.